Okay, welcome to another exciting video for ESO. I erased all my other ones just so I could remake them and show you some updated things. This is my updated tank video for Warden. I call it, well, I haven't really got a name for it, but we'll call it like, let's call it like the Frost Giant build or something like that. Something cool. Gotta have a cool name. Looks like someone been in here to wreck stuff. I'm going to show you how this thing works, then I'll show you what's in the build. This is mainly for 4-man and trials, regular trials. I've not yet tried a vet trial with this guy, but we will. As you can see on our first bar, we will have a sword and board. Second one, we've got a ice staff. I like the ice staff, because really, with a warden you have, and you see how my health went up there, you can tell the two sets there. You got 2 5 pieces and a monster helm set. We'll go over that in just a minute. He's going that way, so we're going to go this way. So, you got your group with you. You come up to a pole. You get your resistances going. Get this here going. Drop this. And you go into the taunts. And if you got your ultimate, which in this build you more than likely will. And this is how it goes. You can do it this way, just a sword and board, or you can swap over to that old ice staff, and we'll do that kind of pull here in a second. But either way, do this. Grab our little ice staffy out. Get that going. And heavy attack, ice, block as he's doing that stuff, and we'll get our resistances up, block some more, and we're just going to stab him and stab him and stab him and stab him. Yeah. So as you see, my ultimate's already back up. Cool thing about this build, it's like the Dragon Knights, they have their little chains. Well, we've got that. I'll show you what that is in just a second. So we'll come up here. Make sure you got your buffs up. You have a lot of AoE with this build, a lot of resistance, a lot of health. It has a good mix of everything. You do a decent amount of damage. As you can see, the ultimate regeneration is insane. We're just going to run up here and get all these guys. We'll go into here with this. Do a little bit of this, a lot of that. Yeah. So, as you can see, that's how that rolls. Now, let's get to a little safe spot here. I don't want these guys seeing us while we're playing around. Well, maybe I have to take them out anyway. Oh, you guys. As you can see, our ultimate's already back up again. And that's that. Hey, look, a treasure chest. We cannot pass this up, guys. I'm sorry. The video must wait. You'll get to see how terrible I am with the opening chests. Well, at least these kind of chests. Ah, I got poop. So anyway. I think this is a good spot to do this. No people around. There's a little boss up there. But so, there's a Nord. You can pick anything you want. I recommend for a tank build, you do Argonian. And any other really would work. But, you know, Argonian, Nords have good health. Imperials have all kind of stat gains. Things like that. Whatever, you know, you really like, just play it. Otherwise, you won't enjoy it, I don't think. So, as you can see, we put nothing in health. We got 30 stamina, 34 magicka. And we got 38,000 health with 15,000 magicka and 14,000 stamina, which your resources, honestly, you don't really run out of them in this build. I've really not had any trouble running anything with this. I never really had to pop any potions, which I've got them on hand. I recommend all tanks use potions, really. Our recovery's good. Everything's good. We have, without buffs, we got 24,000 spell resistance and 26,000 physical resistance with buffs, with just this buff at least. We've got 32,000 physical and 29,000 spell resistance. Now, cap, I believe, is 30,000 each. So we're at cap and above. It really doesn't help you too much to get above 30,000. Now, we are going to have even more resistance than that because of the monster helm that I chose. We chose the Atronach Stone for magic recovery. He's a werewolf, but you don't have to be a werewolf. You don't have to be a vampire. You can. It's up to you. Whatever you want to do. The vampire thing has a cool little when your health gets low, you don't want to, take too much damage. Vampire may be a way to go, but that fire damage, that's going to hurt. You always have minor toughness. I forgot what it's from. I think it's from the other set we have. I believe it's the Warrior Poet set that you see in front of you. We're going to go to that and show you that. Our sets we went with, Blood Spawn. Now, I'd really like to have 2 light in this thing, just because the rest of this is heavy. And, honestly, we've got a whole bunch of resist, but if we got another light, we could use the light skill line to gain even more recovery and other cool little bonuses. You can even do a medium if you want more crit or something like that, more stamina recovery. It's up to you. You can even put just a medium or a light and use all 3 lines. It's up to you. That's the cool thing people don't understand about tanking is you don't have to have all heavy. You can go light armor if you like. But anyway, with the monster helmet we chose, the Bloodspawn, it has the greatest thing is the ultimate regeneration. It has, when you take damage, 14 ult regenerate. And, of course, you have the resistances down there, too, which is 6,000, which is insane, by the way. And it happens every 6 seconds, and it's for every 6 seconds. So, you pretty much, when you're taking damage as a tank, which that's what tanks do, you got this going on all the time. So, that resistance, you can pretty much just count that into your resistance. So, we're well beyond cap, which I may tweak that a little bit later. We'll see. The other set, Dragonguard. The Dragonguard set is really nice. I'd like to have sturdy in all these pieces of armor, but infused is good. You can work on other things. Like this one here is training. Yeah, I'll have to fix that. We'll use our little stones to mess with that one around. But anyway, that's one reason we have such monster health is the whole infused. It gives us more enchantment effect, and these are all max health glyphs. But as you can see at the bottom there, the 5-piece gives you the ultimate cost of abilities reduced by 15%. Now that, it doesn't sound like a big number. But when I say it like 15%, yeah, it sounds great, because it is. You saw how fast I was popping out those ultimates. That was, just nonstop. If you're going like group to group through a dungeon, you can pretty much count on having an ultimate ready when you start it and finish it. Or even, more so if it's a longer fight. The other one we went with is Warrior Poet. Now, you can go Ebon. You can go Plague Doctor. You can go anything you want, really. This is your build. We got 2 things that generate ultimate. I wanted his health to be high, at least higher than average. 30,000 health for a tank is what your goal is. 32, really, because some people on vet dungeons really hit hard. I've done every single vet dungeon with this guy. He does excellent. The only one I really had trouble with was Falkreath Hold, and that's because that one is just a pain in the anus, no matter who you are. So anyways, you can see this is max health, physical resistance added to it, no spell resistance. You've got a lot of resistance stuff, which, like I said, we can tweak this around and swap this out with something else and make it more health or more whatever. But as you can see, it gives you the minor toughness at all times, giving you 10% health, which brought us up to 38,000, which is a great health. Set doesn't look bad either. Sword looks cool. Shield, yeah, I wish it wasn't like that, but either way. So, Ice Staff, still green. I'm going to mess with it, like I said. I just wanted to show you guys this. You really want, like, Crush Your Enchant and Infused on your weapons and things like that. Makes it a little better. Makes it easier for your group to kill people. I got to run this guy through some P vs. P because you really want to get Warhorn, and that's one of the reasons you get it. It's not really you doing the damage. You got to understand that Warhorn helps everyone. So if your group's doing killer damage, they do uber killer damage with Warhorn. Now, I showed you the sets. We got Warrior Poet, we got Dragon, we got the Bloodspawn. We'll go into the skills. This is the tedious stuff. On our front bar, we used a single taunt, Pierce Armor. It makes it where they die a little faster whenever you stab them with it instead of the one that gives you more resistance, because as you can see, we are well beyond resistance cap. This is a good little frontal cone area damage that does poison damage. I thought about getting the stun one, but it is not a stamina-based ability. And that means we would have to swap around some things and, make it more Magicka effective, because the rest of your things here are all Magicka. Arctic Blast. This creates a cone around you, does damage to the enemy, and heals you at 10% immediately, which is good, and 2% every 2 seconds over 10 seconds. So you got 5 ticks of this, which is really cool. That means another 10%. Either way, this is kind of a flexible ability here. It's like the chains that Dragon Knights have, but it's not as good. I'll show you how this works here. Like chains, normally you would highlight an opponent, hit the button, pulls them right to you. This here, you'll throw it down. You can throw up to 3 of these. And when they step in it, they come right to you. And the morphs are pretty neat. I haven't morphed it yet, or at least I don't think I did. Or did I? Yeah. This one reduces their damage done by 30% for 4 seconds, which is what I use. But there's another one that I guess makes your allies a synergy that lets them teleport to you, which could be handy sometimes. But anyway, someone will step in this and they'll just pop over to you and, you know, you can start stabbing them. But anyway, it reduces their damage by 30%. So say you got an archer and you got your group in front of you, but there's like a archer or a mage pecking at you. You can throw this on where he's at. He'll jump right to you. Or you can even start a fight like this guy here. We'll just throw one in front of him. We'll run in and grab some guys over here. And this guy will come down and hit this portal and go to you. It's a good way to start a fight. You know. Of course, we got that. Gotta have it. Because it reduces our damage by 8% for 24 seconds after all said and done. That's an amazing amount of time. It stays up for quite a while. 8% damage reduction is amazing. Plus you get the other resistance increases, which, like I said, we've already done quite a bit of that. Always take all your passives for your 3 main ones, even if you don't use them. See, I'm not even maxed out in this one yet. But always take them. They always help. You don't realize how much they'll help until you do it. Our back bar, we use an ice staff, which I don't have that leveled up yet either. Because I was just playing with this guy and figuring this out. But always you want the blockade of storms. It lays a huge, huge area in front of you that gets the enemies going. You can start a fight with it. They'll run into it. It'll slow them down so they can't get to your other teammates before you do. Now this here is, this is all flexible stuff. I'm not on the back bar very much. I usually open up and then swap right to sword and board. So this here, if they're shooting at you with arrows, great thing. I think I morphed it. Yeah. It grants you ultimate every time. So your ultimate generation beyond imagination when you get shot with these things, plus your other little sets give you ultimate. This here drops an AoE down, kind of like that little portal thing I showed you. I would drop that down instead because it damages them and it gets their attention. And let them walk into it and come to you. This I just use to move fast through dungeons. It's not too bad. Then, of course, like I said, blockade and your range taunt, inner rage. Comes in handy when you're kind of slowed down or rooted in place and teammates getting whacked around by some threat. You just shoot that at them. Good to go. Tri-stat potions, always. Of course, that's the crown ones. I got those, and I just keep getting them for some reason. I don't know what the hell is going on with that, but I've got a bunch of them. Ultimates. Now, I chose, for the main bar, I chose Northern Storm. Because of the damage it does every 1 second for 8 seconds. That's a great, you know, it's not seems not like a lot of time, but it is. It also slows them down and grants you a 30% damage reduction. That's really cool. And while slaughter gains, you know, major, you know, magicka, 8%. That doesn't seem like a lot, but it is. Helps. Really does. Your back bar, I would put Warhorn on this when I get it. But Healing Thicket works great too, in case you got your team seems to be getting pounded by some kind of AoE or a dot or a curse or whatever it is. You know, you just throw that down and it helps out that healer that's going bananas because everyone's fallen. But anyway, that's a good one to have. Of course, like I said, I'm using a light setup, so you take these light passives up till here, because after here it takes 5 pieces. You take all these. These are great. And of course, like I said, everything else that you normally would, you take all the racial stuff, and that's it. I've showed you the skills. I showed you this. CP points. I'm not quite maxed out yet, but we'll, you know, I may just one day just say, screw it all and just do it. But the biggest, most important one in my book is this one here. Reduces the block cost. Now, I'm sure there's a cap to this that makes it to where it's not as useful. But you really don't understand how much useful it is to a tank to block. You can get hit by a monster boss for 40,000 damage if you even block. Like the one in Falkreath Hold hit my one, had a Dragon Knight tank when I was blocking. It hit him for 38,000 damage while he was blocking. And I thought, how in the hell could this happen? He's a tank, he's got resistance. It's because his block was down to like, I didn't have anything in blocking. And you gotta have that. That's what I mean. Your sword and board. I don't have it actually on this guy yet either. But these passives right here that reduce the cost of blocking, you need that stuff. Because it reduces your damage dramatically. When he blocked with sword and board, the same boss that hit the other guy for 38,000, he only took 17,000. So that tells you how much of a difference it makes. So, I showed you how it works. I showed you the gear. I showed you all the other good stuff. It's going to be a pretty quick video. I hope you guys liked it. If you have any questions or you want to see something else, I'm about to put more videos up. There's going to be, of course, the Dragon Knight tank and a couple other ones that I had before. They're going to be updated, new gear, new sets. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like, subscribe if you want to, and I hope you guys all have a great day.